Yo, it's Sean. Hope everyone's having a good day. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good Friday. Good start to your weekend. Anyways, we got her mom kept hitting on me until this happened. Story time. So I've been saving this one because I feel dirty telling this one. Anytime I'm talking about like a situation where it's just me hanging out with a girl, like those kind of things, if you get what I'm saying, I feel dirty about it, but this one's too good not to tell. It's a Friday type story. So of course, like any guy, right, or not any guy, I won't say that, but a lot of dudes, you kind of hope for this situation one day, you know what I mean, where you're talking to a girl, but maybe her mom, like, you get what I'm saying, her mom's cute talking to you. It was kind of like that, but not really. You'll see, okay? So at the time, this is important information, okay? I'm 16 at the time, right? And the girl I'm talking to was a year younger. Like, we were both in, I can't remember if we were in high school or middle school, but she was a year younger. Like, if I was a sophomore, she was a freshman. Or if I was a freshman, she was in 8th grade. Something like that, right? If I was in 8th grade, she was in 7th grade. Something like that, okay? And so, a year younger than me. And so I go over there, and at the time, even though I was 16, maybe I was 15 and she was 14, because I don't think I could drive yet. I remember having to get dropped off by people. But either way, I guess that's not so important. Either way, first time ever meeting this girl, right? Like, I'd met her at a party or something like that. We hit it off, right? So now I was coming over really for exactly what you would think, right? I was literally just going over there to spend time with her, do dirty things, basically. I mean, I don't want to go into it, but you know what I'm saying. We weren't going to be friends, and I don't think there's really a chance of dating, okay? But she used to tell me all the time, hey, you can come over, you know, my mom will be here, but she doesn't really pay attention or care about who's over here, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, sounds good. Kind of a dream scenario when I'm 16, because I was, around then, I was really, all I cared about was hanging out with girls whenever I could, right? So this is a big deal to me. I was happy about it, okay? So I go over there for the first time ever, right? And I already knew the girl, so I didn't really have to meet her, but I met her mom, right? And her mom greets me by giving me a hug immediately. Now, I've met a lot of moms. I've never been greeted with an immediate hug, right? But I think it was because she was drunk, because she had a big glass of wine, and she was talking to her daughter, and she's like, oh, you got yourself a cute one, right? Which, I mean, that's not that weird. I've heard people kind of say that, you know what I mean? Like usually it's about the other way around. Like, I've seen, like, guys introducing their parents to their girlfriend, and then the mom might be like, oh, you got a pretty one, you know what I mean? But it was kind of weird, but it was like, whatever, I let it blow over, right? Because she's meeting me, she's like, you're cute, gives me a hug, or you picked out a cute one, whatever. So now I'm going to hang out with the girl. Nothing else happened that first time, right? And I hung out with her like 4 times, and it just kept getting progressively worse. So the second time I go over there, the girl wasn't ready to hang out. Like, she was getting out of the shower. She was still getting ready, right? She didn't want me to see her. I don't know if she didn't want me to see her without makeup, what the deal was, but I wasn't supposed to go upstairs yet. And so I'm just hanging out downstairs with the mom, right? And of course, again, she's drinking her wine. She had a big box of wine, and she always did. I don't know if it was different kinds, if it was the same one. I don't know how much she liked to party, but it seemed like every time I saw this girl's mom, she was getting lit, you know what I mean? And so I sit down there, and she starts talking to me about my job, because at the time I worked at like Portillo's, or I worked somewhere like that, right? So we're talking about my job, and she's getting like in my personal space, you know what I mean? At first, I was sitting in a little, they had like a countertop with stools, so I'm sitting on the farthest stool to the left. At first, she was behind the counter when she was talking to me. By the end of the conversation, by the time the girl was ready for me to go upstairs to, like, you know, go see her, her mom had gotten like 2 seats over from me. She just kept moving forward and forward and forward. And she didn't say anything weird, but she was like, you could tell with the body movement, she was being kind of flirty, right? Like, she had one of a low shirt on, right? But not like I was staring at this girl's mom, but she was trying to make me look, basically. Like, she keeps touching her chest, and she's like rubbing her shoulders and stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe this mom just gets drunk and is feeling herself. I don't know, right? But the last 2 times is when I realized, like, ooh, I should get out of this situation, right? Because the third time was when I told the girl about her mom, right? So, again, well, this time I was already upstairs with her. I was hanging out. And the mom, I don't know if she wasn't home yet or I just didn't see her. But this time I didn't have to talk to her when I walked in. went immediately upstairs, and I was just watching movies with this girl, right? We watched movies for a couple hours, but I was up there for like 3-4 hours. Well, when I'm getting ready to leave, right, I had left my phone charger in her room, or I'd left something in her room, whether it was my wallet, my phone charger. I done that a couple times in my life, right? Like at least 3 or 4 times I've had to go back into a girl's house to be like, hey, I forgot something, right? Just something I do. I don't know why. But I had forgotten something in her room. So I'd walk downstairs with her, right? And I went, oh, I forgot my phone charger or whatever. She goes, oh, I'll be right back. I'll go grab it for you, right? So she runs back upstairs to grab it for me, and the mom starts getting super weird, right? Like she comes up to me and she's like, oh, what were you guys doing? I was like, watching movies. And she's like, oh, that's nice. And she's like, I'll see you in a couple days or something. I'm like, yeah, that should be good, right? She was just being nice at first. Like she didn't say anything weird, but then she put her arm around me, like saying like a goodbye hug, but I wasn't leaving yet. Like I was still waiting for my phone charger. So I'm just standing there by the door, 16-year-old me, 15-year-old me, just standing there. And her mom comes around me and puts her arm around me like a dude, like how I would like put my arm around a girl. That's how she put her arm around me. She like just put it on my shoulders. And she didn't say anything really weird again, but she was just getting like real close to me, and she's like breathing by my neck. And I was like, okay, this is a little weird. And I didn't put my arm around her. I just stood there, right? And this is when I knew it was weird. As soon as the daughter came down the stairs, she lets go of me, right? So I asked the girl, I'm like, hey, walk with me to the car. Or I can't remember if I was getting picked up or if I drove at the time, but I think I was getting picked up. But either way, I had the girl come outside with me, and I told her, I was like, at first I was making sure it wasn't me. Like I wasn't like, lying, not lying, but you know what I mean? Like the boy who cried wolf, like maybe this isn't that big of a deal and I'm just tripping for nothing, right? Also, I want to throw out there, I was not attracted to her mom at all, right? If I was, who knows what would have happened, right? But I wasn't at all. Plus, I was starting to get kind of feelings for this girl that I'm seeing all the time. So I would have felt real dirty if I did something with her mom anyways. You know what I mean? Like I would have felt like a bad person. Like I wasn't going to do that. I would never, I won't say I would never do anything like that. Who knows what life has in store for me, right? But most likely, who knows? I probably won't ever get a situation like that. But I tell her about that, right? I'm like, your mom was like flirting me. She put her arm around me, and she's like, she put her arm around you? I was like, yeah. And then she tells me, she's like, I had a boyfriend a year ago or however long ago, she said, and he was like, the reason he left or stopped hanging out with me was because my mom he kept saying was flirting with him. And I was like, really? Because I think she keeps hitting on me, but I can't really tell. Like, she kept sitting close to me. She's breathing by my neck. Then she puts her arm around me, right? And then she was like, I'll have a talk with her, but, just tell me if anything else happens. Well, this fourth time is the last time because I caused some ruckus. I caused some drama. I guess not really on accident, but I didn't think what ended up happening. I didn't think what would happen, okay? So I go over there, and I'm excited this time, right? Like, I was excited all the times I went over there because, I'm a teenage guy, and I'm at somewhere I don't have to be afraid of, basically. I'm hanging out with a girl. I don't have to be worried about a brother. I don't have to be worried about a dad, like, intimidating me, basically. Not because I'm doing something wrong, but just because I don't want to be intimidated all the time, you know what I mean? And the mom has, like, the hots for me, it seems like. So, really, it was a cool situation besides the mom being sometimes a little weird. So, I go over there. I'm excited because, think about if you were in my shoes and you're a teenage guy. Like, you're going to be excited too, right? So, I go over there, and this time, I hung out with her. I was upstairs. I got there at like 6 p.m. I didn't leave her room again for like 3-4 hours till like 10:30. But then something not so good happened. The girl that I'm with, even though I'm pretty sure she showered before I came, she was like, I'm going to shower, before you leave and stuff. Because I can't remember if there was like half a movie left or we were going to watch one more movie or what the deal was. But she was going to shower and then, then I was going to leave in a little while. So while she's showering, I knew to stay upstairs because if I go downstairs, her mom might do something weird, right? So I stayed my ass in her room. I was like, I'm not even going to test it. Like, I don't want to ruin anything that's going on here, right? And her mom came up to the room. Like, I didn't go downstairs. Her mom came up to the room and she knocks on the door. And at first I thought it was the girl, but I could still hear the shower. So I was like, yeah. And I said it just like that. I was like, yeah. And her mom cracks open the door and she's like, can I come in? Can I talk to you? I was like, sure. I mean, it's her house. What am I going to do? Be like, no, don't come talk to me in your own house. Like, that'd be weird. So I'm like, yeah, we can talk or whatever. And she comes, and most moms, if they had something to talk about with like not that I was this girl's boyfriend, but let's just say for the scenario, right? Any other mom talking to their daughter's boyfriend most likely is not doing what she does here, right? Most moms would stay by the door or like lean their head in and talk. She came in with this, the closest thing I could call it is a bathrobe, right? Like it was some lingerie robe shit, right? And she sits right next to me, and she looks like exposed is the best way I can put it. And like I said, I didn't find her attractive like at all. Like it may be 1% out of 100, or out of like, yeah, you know what I mean? It wasn't really there for me. And she sat right next to me in this like lingerie robe outfit, and I got nervous, right? I was like, okay, this is a little weird, right? And she puts her hand on my thigh. I was gonna say my knee, but it was my thigh. She puts her hand on my thigh, and that got my body, what would you do in that situation? I like hopped back. I was like, and she said out loud, she's like, you don't have to be nervous. And that's when I was like, okay. I stood up and I walked out the door and went to the bathroom and just started knocking, right? And then the mom followed me, and she said something, but I didn't hear what. She like whispered something as she was leaving the room. I'm guessing it was something like, you didn't have to do that, or like, you're no fun. I couldn't, I have no recollection of what she said to me, but I know it was something like whispered and backhanded. You know what I mean? Like she was talking to herself or like saying it out loud, but she said she must have said something like that, like you're no fun, or you don't have to do that, or whatever. But as soon as she touched my thigh, I was like, fuck that. I went to the bathroom, I knocked on the door. The shower stops after like 2 minutes of me knocking, and I just stood there, right? And the mom went downstairs, and I was like, okay, this is not for me, right? And she comes out of the bathroom, she still has the towel on, like I was knocking like it was an emergency, you know what I mean? I wasn't like boom, 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 but I was like da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. She comes out of the room, right, or out of the bathroom, she's got her towel on and stuff, she's like, is everything okay? And I told her immediately what happened. I was like, your mom just came upstairs, sat next to me, and then put her hand on my thigh and said I didn't have to be nervous. Like, that's some weird, creepy shit, right? I was like, I want to leave. I just want to go, right? Because one, that made me uncomfortable, but two, I had already been hanging out with this girl for a few hours, so, there was nothing really left for us to do. So, I mean, in both senses, I was ready to go, right? Like, I was good on that. So I told her, I'm like, I'm ready to leave, but I don't want to walk down there by myself. Like, will you walk with me or something? And what I was expecting, right, was she'll walk me out. Her mom probably won't even say anything to me because it's awkward, right? And then I'll walk out. And then I'll probably, what I ended up doing was, because I was getting picked up at the time, like I said, then I get to tell my mom about what just happened, if I choose to. I don't know if I was going to yet, but I asked if she can walk me out so I don't have to walk by her mom alone. She's like, yeah, I'll walk you out. I'm sorry that happened. And she asked me if she would see me again. She's like, are we gonna hang out, or will I see you again after this? Like, maybe we can go to your house or something. And I said yeah, and my full intentions were to hang out with her again. But then this happened. We go down the stairs, and right before I'm gonna leave, her mom just out loud, blatantly and loudly goes, did he tell you what I did, or did he tell you what happened? And I was like, I just froze up, like my whole body. It felt like I stepped on a nail. I was like the opposite. You know when you hear a song you really like and you get goosebumps? And sorry, this dude's got his mower going right next to my car. You know how if you hear a good song you get goosebumps? I got the opposite of that. It felt like my whole body got hot, and I was like, oh God, I'm nervous, right? And the daughter said, she's like, yeah, he did tell me what happened, and that's bullshit. Like, you can't be doing that to the guys I bring over, like, get your own guys. And they start arguing, right? And the mom, I left the moment the mom started blaming the daughter for stuff about the dad. Like, it turned into this whole family fight about the dynamic of the family and like where the dad was. And I took that chance to leave. I said, I'm leaving, right? And I never talked to that girl again. Kind of messed up because she didn't do anything. It was all her mom, and I probably could have, like I said, invited her over to my house or talked to her again, but no. After that, I was staying away, dude. But like I said, most guys, like, I don't know, in that scenario. If the mom was attractive, I don't know what I would have done. I'm sure we'd have a different story time, you know what I mean? I would have, pursued that probably back then, like real talk. But the mom was not my type, and she was freaky, dude. She really was. Like, I don't know what was going on in her mind or why she's hitting on a 16-year-old, 15-year-old me, but she went for it, dude. She took advances and made me uncomfortable. But what are you gonna do about it? I mean, I can't really complain about that. You know what I mean? A lot of guys would be like, hey, that's not too bad of a scenario right there. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you sub, share, like, comment, become a member if you want to. Don't worry about it if you don't. Hope everyone has a good day. If you need something for real, need someone to talk to, my Instagram is linked. It's also the same exact name as my YouTube. I answer all positive comments. But if you want to DM me, you need someone to talk to for real, DM me. I'll get back to you within a day or two. You're not alone. Thanks for watching. Be safe. And I'm glad that now that I'm done with my video, they turn off the mowers. That's really convenient, guys. All right. Peace out. Be safe. Go Bears.